things happen at home with children, so you need to be there, and everything is all good. Scott says, let's go 2-1. 2 points off top 4, let's go. Brighton next, another big game. Palace Football says hello. So welcome to the channel. For those of you who've never been here before, I am JB, and yeah, this is one of the best communities on this platform. We do things differently here. Again, the best thing about this show tonight is not only have we beaten Liverpool 2-1, let that sink in. I'll go on to what I said about that and why it was important to do the show that we did this morning. We'll go through the game. We'll go through our player ratings. We'll go through all that stuff. First thing I'll always say on here is be respectful. Now, look, guys, all I am going to say to United fans tonight is, as much as we can revel in a win, we have some amazing Liverpool fans on here as well. Now, look, any Liverpool fans, giving us crap, I think they're fair game. But I all I'm saying is that let's temper this with the next game, because we all know what can happen. But we have to enjoy this win today. One of the things I'll say, look, we can take everything else with a pinch of salt. The most important thing tonight is to win. And as I say, can you watch my edit? I will do. I will find you and I'll watch your edit. Yeah, I will do. Let me take a screenshot and I will watch it as well. I have done a screenshot of somebody else as well on here who said that they will wear a United shirt. So I'm going to hold them to that as well. So if this is your first time here, look, we love banter. We don't mind respectful banter. Scott is in the chat. Hello, my friend. Hope you are extremely well, mate. We won. Scott called it. That's what I love about Scott. Legend of this chat. And Scott called it. My pessimism, as always, good evening, Grace. Legend of the chat as well. So, one other thing to say is, I'm a dictator of this chat, as you all know. I will read your messages out. This is one thing that other channels do not do. I do not charge for the privilege of that. If you want to put a super chat in, that is entirely up to you. It's all on there. Feel free to help the channel out, but it's really, really important. More so than that is you subscribe, give videos a like for this amazing community, to give it the props. Grace says, as the Norwich City woman owner once said, "Where are you? Where are you?" Yes, she did. That was Delia Smith. Andrew Kevin says, hi, my friend. What do you think of the game today? So let's get to it. Without further ado, let's get into the bloody game. And I cannot believe it. So last night, obviously a little bit, tempering the game, saying, can we win? Of course we can. But I was on the prediction of more of a loss. Then I did say this morning, look, we've got to be up for it this morning. And that's where my stance was this morning. We can win. I demand a win. And that is what we did. Now, there were people like Scott on here who were staunch in their views yesterday, saying that we were going to win. I don't know how, what, where, and why. Now, one of my things was that it depended on what Liverpool turned up, and depending what side that we put up as well. Let's talk about the game. So, what do we think about the game? Now, I thought United started really, really well. I was really, really pleased with how we started. Now, bearing in mind, we went to Anfield. We've not won at Anfield in 9.5, 10 years. We only play them at Anfield once a season. Frederick says, hi, hello, my friend. So, look, we've got to revel in this win today. And I am going to go through some stuff. Danny B, welcome, my friend. Still buzzing as well. I genuinely cannot believe it. It's so important in so many ways for this club to be able to do that. And I'm hoping that this gives the confidence to these players now, because, there's players like me, there's people like me who are critical of these players, but I will always give them props. If they do something good, I will support them. I want to support this manager and these players. I'll never support this ownership of this club, but I will support these players. I'm not asking these. Look, I know these players are put in a position. I will still maintain that these players will turn it on and off. They can turn up to the big games, but I want to support these players. I mean, look, there are players that I would sell, but I will support these players if they play well. That was a shock result for Liverpool. The last time you played them on one at Anfield, Rooney scored a brace. Now, was it a shock result? Before we get into the game, now I was sat and I've rewatched some of the game again. I've sat there and thought about this, and when I sit there and I've watched the game and I think about it, the way that Liverpool have played, was it a shock? I don't think it was. The problem with me, and I'm going to be honest, is you've got people who are United are going to win whatever happens, right? Then you've got people who are United are going to lose whatever happens, and Amorim needs to be out, right? I fall somewhere in between that. Now, my problem in trying to predict this game was I don't trust these players. I don't trust what the coach is trying to do, and I was blinking. I was blinking on the basis that I don't trust these players. Grace says, "Total race, anyone? We're not losing anymore." Grace, thank you for the super chat. Grace, I feel the love. As always, Grace is a legend, and thank you so much. Absolute legend, Grace. Thank you so much for that. Nick says the win today was against our biggest rival. Should give them a massive confidence boost and keep them calm when the game went to 1-1. And we'll come on to that as well. I think that was really important as well. So before I go into the players and the match, all I want to say is this, is that, look, the most important thing is a win. I don't care how we win. I don't care if they'd hit the post 1,000 times. The important thing tonight is that we win. Now, there are going to be people and fans are going to say, I'm going to try to take this away and basically try to say that we're not back. We're not back. Okay, we need to temper this with we've won back-to-back games. How can we build? How can we build on this win? Right? What can we do now? Can we go? Can Brighton come to us and can we beat them? Now, how can we now build on this win? And that is the next question for Amorim to answer. He's got these players up. How can we continue to do that? Unreal Scene says Harold. Harold saying says Casemiro played. Again, look, we'll come on to that. I thought Casemiro, to be fair, was okay. I did think we lost a bit of control when he came off. Do I think he was brilliant? No. There was still big gaps in that pivot, but I think he did well. Wayne said he was unlucky. The post saved you several times, but you got the result you deserved. Like, Wayne is a legend on this channel. Wayne is a Liverpool fan, and that's why when I talk about this game, I have to talk from it from a very logical perspective and a very fair perspective, because there are people like Wayne who support the channel. We are going to revel in this win because I think we have to. But let's not take away today. That was a game. That was a proper game. That is what I wanted to see. The fact that I was in the edge of my seat. Liverpool hit the post. Gakpo, I thought, was Liverpool's best player. He caused us so many problems down that side. I thought he was immense today. Other than that, don't get me wrong, Liverpool had chances to score, but I think ultimately Wayne is right. I think do I think the better team won? I think that's really, really difficult to say. I would say from where we are and how we played, look, Liverpool were at home, peppered us towards the end. They couldn't break us down. They couldn't break through. We got the result. I think, would a draw have been fair? Possibly. We've got to talk about that. But ultimately, we did win. So I do think it was fair. But Wayne, get your opinions in, my friend. as a Liverpool fan. Get your opinions in about, I think it's 4 losses on a spin or something now. So get in your opinions. I want to know about Isaac. What do you think about him? Because I certainly was not impressed. Ken King said, what an assist from Bruno. And we'll come on to Bruno as well. I thought, what an absolute brilliant ball. Brilliant. Howard says, overjoyed by the victory. Liverpool have given the title to Arsenal or City. Possibly we'll win against Brighton, and a home win. We should win 5 in a row. I'm liking the confidence. Nikuri said the goal frame should have got man of the match. I mean, look, that second shot from Gakpo. I mean, what a shot that was. Absolutely brilliant. Howard Sane says, no, just we win. All inflicted a fourth loss on Liverpool is very sweet. Not our fault. Gakpo and Salah missed sitters. A win is a win. Look, and that's exactly where I'm at tonight. As much as I'm respectful, and I have to be. That is just me. But a win is a win. We needed a win. It's our night tonight. We beat the champions, and I'm not reveling it in a way that we're back, and I don't want to rub it in anyone's face. But I'm loving it tonight. I'm loving the fact that we won tonight, and we've got to celebrate it tonight. I've just clicked my edit and got 1,000 views. Amazing, my friend. Amazing. I'll give it a click as well. Lamin should be number 1 choice. Is going to be Schmeichel 2.0. We'll come on to him. Casemiro wasn't going to reinvent himself. He's still lacking pace, but it shows his age. He was tidy. I agree. He didn't lose the ball often. I thought it was important he played well. I think Casemiro today, the way that we played, I thought it suited him today. I was one of the biggest critics. So was I. If Fernando wasn't goal, we would be 5-2 to them. Grace says, I will say one negative. I would like to see the future over older players. Heaven over Shaw. Mainu over Bruno. Ugarte over Casemiro. Euro over Maguire. Dorgu over Delay. Grace, and for you to say that, we will come on to the team as well, Grace. Richard says, hi, Richard. Hi, I'm Richard from Ghana. United all the way. Exactly, my friend. United all of the way. Wayne says, it's too early to rule out Liverpool for the title, but we are struggling at the moment. 4 losses in a row. Do not write Liverpool off just yet. Do not write them off. As I've already said, is that Liverpool are going to be building a team for the future. They've brought in loads and loads of players this season. It's so hard to win the Premier League twice in a row. But we can't write anybody off yet. And Wayne is right. We are 8 games in. 8 games in. But Wayne, 8 games in, my friend. Join us. Show us support a proper club. Leewood says, massive win today, mate. I can't even understate, as the thumbnail says, mate. As the thumbnail said today, kick start the season. Cunha was man of the match. Look, I thought Cunha was good today. I thought he did a lot of good things, but my man of the match isn't him. If Arsenal bottle the title, we all know 115 are winning it. Possibly. Great. Liverpool haven't lost 4 games in a row since 2014. That's the start of the day. But great win for Manchester Reds. Exactly. So let's get on to the game. So we started brightly. So, and the problem with Liverpool is bought a load of attackers, and attacking wing backs have forgot their midfield and defence. I think more so their defence. We'll talk about them, but let's talk about us. And then we can talk about where I think Liverpool's problems were, and with some help from Wayne, where Wayne can steer us on what he thinks as well. So, Mbeumo, 1 minute and a second scored a goal. Now there is some controversy that I think we need to talk about. Obviously, McAllister, Van Dijk jumped in the air, and you can argue Mbeumo was sort of part of that, but in my opinion, from what I saw, I think Van Dijk took out his own player. Now, as it transpires, he hit his head. I don't know how hard that was, and the referee played on. Now, all I'm going to say on that one is, look, is that people are going to have their opinions, right? If you was Liverpool, we're talking football, are we? Yeah, we're talking United and Liverpool, probably the biggest game on the planet today. Whether people agree with that or not, I think Liverpool United today was probably the biggest game of the planet today. Both clubs, not just because it's us, but because of what it means today. So we scored the goal. Now I think there is going to be lots of people who are going to be saying, we scored that goal because there's a man down. But look, it was a ball over the top again. Could you argue if it was me, would I? And I've watched it again. Would I be not? Look, it's happened to us. It's happened to us. So all I'm going to say on it, I think people will have their opinions, and I think that you can land wherever that you land, but ultimately the goal was scored, and I thought it was a fantastic goal. Now we also had our chances again. I think Bruno had a very, very good chance. Glory, glory, Man United victory, Peter. Yes, it is, my friend. Get in there, get in there. Amazing win, right? So we had chances. We had chances to, Gakpo could have scored. We could have scored 2 or 3 ourselves. And again, that is the story of our season. Billy the Fish says, "Well done, United today." I'm a Liverpool fan. Thank you, Billy the Fish. And look, this is what I love about this community. People like Billy, people like Wayne, respectful. I would be the exact same. What I'm going to say is that the respect today, because look, that was a hard fought game. Let's be honest, that was a hard fought game. Liverpool knew that they were in a game today. We knew that we were in a game today. First half, I thought we were brilliant. And then Liverpool come out second half. I mean, those 8 minutes of extra time. I mean, from about 76 minutes on, I said Liverpool score in and around 75 minutes. I thought we did really well to hold them off. I thought it reminded me of a good old clash. It reminded me of one of our good old games, on the edge of our seat. And how good does it feel? If Liverpool had won that game, they would have felt amazing. The fact that we won the game, it felt amazing. So all I can say to Liverpool fans tonight is that, look, that was a bloody hard fought match. If we could do that every single week and be competitive, how amazing would that be? Well, for us anyway. So just to be part of that game, I thought was immense, and to come out on top, I thought was immense. Martin Face says the Glazers will be saying we're doing a great job because exactly got to start mainly. So let's get through it today. So I thought from front to back, if we look at I think if we look at Ahmad, I thought Ahmad today was brilliant. I've been critical slightly of Ahmad in the past couple of games, purely because of the defensive stuff. Now Gakpo got in a couple of times, but I thought Ahmad today was brilliant. I genuinely thought Ahmad was brilliant, and I think Ahmad is growing into that role. Now, whether we think he is a right wing back, the fact that he can go to Liverpool and Anfield and do that, Ahmad's, I just like him. I really, really like Ahmad. Really, really impressed today. I thought he's brilliant, and I just, if he can take that confidence now, you've played the champions. This is what we need to be saying to these players. You've played the champions, and Ahmad, you played right wing back. You got trusted, and you put in a performance like that. I thought that was immense. So, I thought that Maguire, Harry Maguire, Harry Maguire, look, the way that we play today, is Harry Maguire the future? No, he's not the future. Mike says, I was freaking out because Liverpool were moving the ball so fast. We needed to be spot at the back today. Well done. They needed to get it sorted against smaller teams. I agree with you. So, Maguire. Mate, look, Harry Maguire, right? I've been critical of him. Amorim got it spot on today. Maguire can play that. We basically played a low block, right? That is exactly. And Harry Maguire and Casemiro can play that. Harry Maguire today, he's one of these players that he can have an impact. Now, look, all I'm going to say is if he wants a new contract, look, I would rather have him in this team than not. Is he a starter? No. He was perfect for this game. I thought Maguire today was brilliant. I love a redemption story, and Maguire today, I had a big smile on my face because I'm so happy for him to come back, and I thought he was immense. Lamin's today, again, Lamin's composure. I mean, look, we were all worried, and we were talking about this, right? We were all worried about him. We all said maybe Binder should be in goal on here anyway. We all said Binder should be in goal. Let's not put him in because in case Liverpool smash us, and his confidence. Lamin's is what a goalkeeper. Look, this is only his second game, but the save that he made from, was it Isaac or Gakpo? Confident. He came out for a cross and it was slightly behind him, but he caught it. He catches everything. His positioning is brilliant. He's aware. He commands that box, and you could see after the game what they meant to him already. Fantastic player. Dalot today. Dalot is one of those players that needs to go. I'm not going to slate him too much today because ultimately he was on the winning side. He's at fault. Again, he gets caught out. I'll talk about Luke Shaw as well. I thought that he was okay. I'd bump his score up because we won. When Dorgu came on, I thought Dorgu was better. But for me, he's got to go. Look, we are where we are with him this season. I'm not going to try not to go. I'm trying not to put him down. I thought he was all right. Is he the future? No. De Ligt, I thought was immense again today. His work rate, what he does, I think he's brilliant. You can just see it. He gets it. He absolutely gets it completely. Luke Shaw. Look, I want to be kind to players. Luke Shaw was not good today. He was at fault for the goal. The amount of times and chances that they had, he doesn't get close enough to the man. He got absolutely burnt at one point. Luke Shaw is the weakest link. Yoro needs to come back into this team. When he came back in, I thought we looked better. Luke Shaw needs to get out this team. Now the problem is he's played in this game and we've won. Luke Shaw for me, I'm done with him anyway. But I just thought today he wasn't great. But look, I'm not going to be too harsh on these players today. We won. He did a job. He was part of it. But I don't think he was great. Let me go through the chats before I get on to Casemiro. Adu says, Manu, got to start Manu. We'll come on to that. Man of the match, hit the button. Give us a like, favourite, and subscribe. Looks like Klopp's era is over. New players for Liverpool need time to perform. Roberts, Wirtz would have made a big difference. Well done to Amorim. Wirtz came on and Wirtz wasn't there. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah. Joey says, fair play to win with Maguire, Casemiro, Shaw. Your front three were very calm with the ball. We were, Joey. We absolutely were, my friend. Please can we play like this every week? Bluey, I don't want to play like this I don't want to play like this every week. I don't want to do it because it will be nail biting. Look, if we can win, and this is how we play, and we win games, fine. But I don't want to play like this every week because my nerves cannot take it. Where's Andrew? I don't know. Funnily enough, if not for Conte, Šeško would have definitely scored that. I think Šeško was offside. Šeško was offside, but Konate had his best game today. I thought Konate was really, really good. We have lost a lot of good players and brought in quite a few new players. It takes time. Wayne, exactly that, mate. The men's is better than current quartile, in my opinion. Let's not get carried away. He is good. I need my FIFA points off of Angel with the bet that he made me. Delo at set pieces is all right. He's lost lots of pace. We've got to give Leon a chance. Why? Look, why do we need to give Leon a chance? That's all I'm asking. Maybe we will. Leon is 18. After today's win, is Leon the future? Possibly. But right now, we need to win games. And maybe when we're a bit more established, then actually maybe we do give these players more of a chance. But right now, let's see. At least I think it was Andrew who made the bet with me. Luke Shaw needs to move on to a slower league. I agree. Blue Nose says, well, I wasn't far off. No, you weren't. You weren't, my friend. Legend of the chat. Nelson says Bruno was tired. He would have been subbed early. Celtic or Rangers. This morning I answered that one. I can't answer that, my friend. I've got no skin in the game on that one. Both historic, both clubs. I think that argument is too divisive for me to get involved. I respect both teams. A bet's a bet. The song is on my channel. Joey, yes, I will. Joey, what's your channel, mate? Can you put your channel name in the description, mate? And I will absolutely take a look at it, mate, and I will comment on it, mate. Joey, legend, mate. If that is what you've done, go and check him out, because we did make a bit of a bet, Joey. And if that's what you've done, Joey, then mate, massive respect to you, my friend. So we had a little bet that he would, if we won, Joey would put in a United shirt, I think it was, wasn't it? And sing Glory, Glory, Man United. So look, if he's done that, check out his channel, or go over there, check out his channel and applaud him for that, because I think that is respect, my friend, and massive props to you. Mo said, who is the best player on the team against Liverpool? I will come on to that. I will give you the man of the match from my perspective, but guys, get in on your man of the matches as well. Blue Game says, please don't, people don't realize Martinez is coming back, and with this momentum we can go well into the FA Cup knockouts. There is that factor as well. Wayne says, I prefer the squad that Klopp built and left for Slot take over, but you can't always keep the players that you want to move on to other clubs. They run the contracts down and always don't sign a new one. Wayne, as always. Selwyn says, respect my brother. Finally winning at Anfield. Love Lamens. Didn't play short necessarily. Mbeumo, what a signing, will be very good starting. So Joey Keaton, mate, I will check that out, mate, and I will give you an absolute massive props on that, mate, because legend, mate. Look, that's all I can say. That's all I can say, my friend. Guys, check it out. Go over to his channel, check it out, and give him some love, because to do that is amazing. So give him some respect. Give him some respect for that. You remember when you told me to do an edit on Mateta? Yes, I did. If you've done one, Palace, again, what's your channel name, mate? And then I'll check that out as well, and I'll come and give you props as well, guys. Do you think Arnold should return to Liverpool? The question is here, the Liverpool want him back. Joey, I'm on your channel, can't find the video. Denji Adams says that Liverpool's truck is going downhill. What do you expect from a team that lost to Galatasaray? My channel is called. I will check that out as well, mate, and I'll come across and I'll give you some love over there, my friend. And I'll check it out, and I will give you some love, my friend. Cool. Written that down, fellas. Thank you very much. So, where were we? So Casemiro. Look, Casemiro looks like he's a bag of sand. Casemiro looks like he's running backwards in a bag of sand. He is not the future. I will say this though today. Playing how he played today was perfect for him. I thought he did that defensive role that I described. That I would, when I was asked where would Martinez played, I described that role as playing in front of the back three and being shield and just moving from left to right. Staying in that sort of defensive square and mopping it up, and that's what he did today. That is exactly what he did today. And I thought, do you know what? I'll give him props today. I thought he did okay today. I thought he did his job, and I thought he did well. Bruno today, look, Bruno didn't play. I don't think Bruno played the best game today. He's not a number 8. But what I will say, what I liked about Bruno's performance today, and this is what I'll be consistent with, I don't mind if Bruno doesn't play well. As long as he plays average and he gives everything that he's got, which he did today. Look, Bruno is not a number 8. But what he did today, I've been asking for that, and he did it. He didn't run. He didn't hide. He wasn't petulant. He just did his job. He wasn't great. But that's what I'm asking him to do. I know I still want him gone. I'm still done with some of the things that he does. But that was the performance that I don't mind seeing. David says, Salford 7. Come on, the Reds. 2-1. I'm buzzing. Isaac says hi. So Bruno, Fernandes, to me, he wasn't great, but that cross into Maguire was sublime. I've said this before. Bruno is a stat padder, but Bruno can do things. There is no doubt that Bruno is a good player, and there are some things that he does that are world class. And that cross today was effing brilliant. So we'll come on to those scores. Mbeumo, I thought was brilliant today. I thought was excellent today. Again, he's so consistent. One of our better players. He's always a threat. The Liverpool back four was scared of him, and with Ahmad as well, absolutely, they were petrified. I thought he took his goal well. He runs the channels. He runs. He's so good. I think he's such a good signing. Cunha today, I think Cunha was an unsung hero today. What I like about what he does is he gets the ball and he tries to run with it. He gets the ball and he tries to do things with it. His mentality is never say die. He's so used to being the star man in a small team, but today I love what he does. And what he did today, if you watch him, very, very unselfish, trying to get the team up the park, and it was the little things that he did, and I thought he was fantastic today. Mason Mount was all right today. Not one of his better games. I don't think he played badly. Literally, as I put it, you mentioned great March, JB. Thank you, Blue Nose. And Mason Mount, I don't think played particularly well. I don't think he had a bad game. I just think that he just had a game. Gucci Man says, just joined. Thank you, my friend. Hope you're doing extremely well. Please, why not talk about our new striker, Maguire? Legend. I thought Shesko, when he came on, again, Shesko, I like Shesko. He does different things. He adds something different to the team. Thank you for subscribing, my friend. Thank you so much, legend. And he adds something different. Now, when Manu come on, so when Ugarte come on, I thought we lost control. Been a United fan since 2006. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you, my friend. I've been a United fan since 1988, and there are other people on here who've been supporting them longer than that as well. So welcome to the best the best fan channel on this platform because of you guys. You are fantastic. Shesko, I think, adds something different. Ugarte, look, he came on. Casemiro had to come off. Ugarte did a job. Do I think he's the future? No, I don't. I don't think he is. Manu come on. Manu looked all right. Manu did some decent stuff. But it's so difficult. It's so difficult for players like that to come into a game when it's poised in that way. Look, for Ugarte and Manu to come into a game like that, and the Liverpool are chasing the game at Anfield, it does show the character of some of these players as well. So I was really pleased to see that. Dorgu came on. I thought Dorgu looked good as well. I thought he looked fun. I thought he caused them a problem with his pace. So I'm not going to be too harsh. I will score the players as well. You let me know your scores. Let me know if you think that we deserve to win that match. Let me go through some of the chats. So Delos Sut said Haruto, did he suck today? He wasn't brilliant. Wasn't his best game. It wasn't his best game. But look, I'm not going to be too harsh tonight because I think these players need to be. I'm not a big fan of tickling the tummies like of these players, but these are the players that we've got. These are the players that are going to play. So I think tonight, it's really important to give them a pat on the back because we need to go and win the next game. Denzi said, "You English teams that spend a lot of money are going backwards instead of forwards. If Liverpool had kept their squad from last season, they would have been better than this year's squad." Let me also say that Arne Slot is one of the worst managers I've ever seen in my life, excluding the Man U managers. Now, it's really funny, look, right? All I'm going to say on that is you say that Liverpool are going through a transition, right? That Klopp side he built, right? It's one game. It's 8 games, right? And I'm not going to spend too much on Liverpool, the ins and outs of them right now, because this is there are channels out there for that. All I'm going to say to those of you who are who are slating English teams is that teams go through transitions, right? And that's what's happening to Liverpool. You can say what you like about Slot, but props to Slot. He's won a Premier League. Look, I'm not going. That's all I'm going to pretty much say is Liverpool has spent the money. If you think those players, not all of them, will be great, but just be careful what you say, because in the future, this is one season. Liverpool may not win the league this season. Liverpool may finish 4th. Liverpool may finish 3rd. But I'm telling you now, they've got too many good players to not come again. So just be careful what you say. It's okay now because Liverpool are on a losing streak. That's not going to last forever. So you can enjoy Liverpool's loss today if you're slating English teams. But it's one game. It's 8 games. Let's see where we are at Christmas time. Blue knows, Cunha will start scoring. He just needs to get the mentality out of him. That's number one. He's like trying too hard. And Mbeumo found it quicker. And he's much better. Where are we? Wayne says Klopp's side he left were potentially a Premier League winning side. That's why I think Slot came in to take over. He had the side to win the league. He did do that. Palace says, I've turned down going to our FA Cup final because we were playing City because I had tickets. But I gave them to my friend because I thought we'd lose. Mate, I wouldn't care if we lost. Right? Palace, you got to go to the final. I mean, look, whatever happens, even if you lose, you've got to face it. You've got to front up to it. You can't look. It's hard. In life, no one likes to lose. But you've got to front up to it. You've got to. You can't hide away. Today, mate, I would have loved to have hidden away from that game for the last 5 minutes, I would love to have hidden away. But you've got to front up. You've got to. You've got to. And you missed out. You missed out on that final. I respect it. I do. But you can't. You absolutely can't. Rooflit says, 1986. I've been supporting the boys since then and will do it till I die. A great result today. We still need the midfield sorting. Kobe mainly should be starting though. My friend, legendary. You know, as I say, I've been supporting them since 88. There were people like yourselves, 86, who've been supporting them before me. You know, and absolutely, you know, do I think Manu needs to start? There's a question mark. Every time I see Manu play and people are calling for him to play, I've got to be honest. I'm not swept away. I'm not swept away. I'm not saying, look, he probably needs games. Okay, I've said I want to see Manu stay, but I'm not swept away by him. I'm just not. Wayne says Gakpo was our best player today. Yeah, Wayne agreed. Gakpo was on it today. I really like Gakpo. If Bruno scored this goal in the first half, we would have broken their confidence. Yeah, agreed. But Liverpool, let's not forget they're at home. The Cop are noisy. The Cop, you know, they want to win. If we'd have scored the second goal, do I think we would have had an easier game? I don't know. We could have scored 3. They could have scored 2. Then said, I don't understand anything you say because I don't know English, but I'm sure you're talking a very good topic. That's why I love you. Don't forget that you now have one more follower from Turkey. Thank you, my friend. Abdul says, United had the motivation to win. Delo looked tired, could not go front as usual. Yeah. Gucci Man says, Ahmad is solid. That's his position. We need someone solid on the left wing to link up with Cunha. Rejoice, Amorim broke another record. Algeria, I can't speak the language, but thank you, my friend. Liverpool played great. They moved the ball so fast. I was wondering what's happening, but United is fit and showed heart. And we did. And I'll get through these chats and then I'll come through the scores as well. We do put Luke Shaw there and now Euro back in the team. I've said for years now, the low is not good enough for United. Too many errors and can't concentrate for 90 minutes. Agree. Ruse flips. Agree with you. Neil said, good win for Villa today. Yes, it was. Was it Buendia scored the winner today, Neil? Well done to Villa today. I've always got a soft spot for Villa. Yeah, well done. Absolutely fantastic win today. I went to the parade though. Wayne says Slot is a very good manager. All managers get their rough times. That's football. And Wayne, it's 4 games. You know, this is what baffles me about football. Right, it baffles me. You know, I'm saying this is why I've been hammering in. We've played 8 fucking games. I mean, look, Slot has lost the 4 games in all like competitions. We're still 2 points off of them. What, Liverpool on 4 points off of the top? It's nothing. We're 8 games in. I mean, people are so not flip-flop, but you can't. How can you change your mind after a single game? Now, I wasn't happy with the team today. When I saw the team, it's all there. I wasn't happy. I never said, you know, I was concerned, but you know, again, you've got to give him a chance to win. All this, you know, Slot doesn't win the Premier League the first time of asking if he doesn't know what he's doing. I met Oliver Glasner at the parade. That's awesome. Believe it or not, I've been supporting United since 1958. Wow. I mean, hats off to you, my friend. I mean, look, that is amazing. What can I say? Absolutely amazing. I see Scott is using the hammer. Thankful for the great show. We'll present it and neutral. Keep it up. We'll chat later. Thank you, my friend. So let's talk about the players. Let's go on to the players. Now, I'm going to say this. You give me your opinions on the players as well today. Let me know what you give them a score. I'm going to score them out of 10, and I'm going to give an average 6. Right, so 6 is an average. Some people may say it's a 5, 5 falls in the middle, but I'm going to give them a 6. 6 is the average, and let's go from there. So, Larmins, you cannot look. I'd give him an 8, right? The reason why I give him an 8 is the kid has gone to Anfield. In his second game, this young goalkeeper has gone to Anfield and shown maturity beyond his years. The way that he was calm, the save that he made at 1-1, the catches he was making, the corners, he's not flustered from corners. I mean, what a performance. I mean, and you don't have to be pulling worldies out of, top corners to be having a good game. When he was asked, he did it. He was there. So for me, Amends is an 8. I've got to give him an 8. When you got to factor in Anfield, you got to factor in the champions, you got to factor in the Sabre 2 that he made. What a performance! So 8 for me. Wayne says, "Will Ange ever get over the chance of being Will Ange ever get a chance of being a manager again because he's so bad?" I think he will, but I think he'll be. I don't want to be rude to other leagues, because if I say, oh, he's bad, and then he can manage in X League. I mean, the guy's 60 years old, right? I think, I can see Big Ange going to the States. I can see Big Ange maybe going to, I want to say, maybe the Norwegian League. Maybe Ange goes back to Scotland. And again, I don't want to be rude, but I think Ange has damaged himself because he's gone to the wrong team. Let's go to a Delo next. So for me, I'll give him a 5. I think he was less than average today. As much as I want to give all these players 7s and 8s and 9s and 10s, I think it's only fair that I think I'd give him a 5. You could give him a 5.5, 6. Look, an average score. Did he have an average game? You could argue that. I think he had a less than average game. There was a couple of times he gave the ball away. He doesn't like to cross the ball. He gets caught out of possession a lot. So for me, you could argue 5, 5.5 today. Now maybe I'll be kind and give him a 5.5. I think you could argue that as a 6. Luke Shaw today is a 4. I've not got an agenda against Luke Shaw, but Luke Shaw today for me was a 4. I just don't like him in there. He was at fault for the goal. He didn't get close enough to the man. The amount of times he gave that ball away in areas whereby it absolutely put Liverpool onto us. He got skinned a couple of times. Luke Shaw shouldn't be in this team. Even when we're playing a low block, Luke Shaw's not good in a low block. Luke Shaw can't play on the left. Luke Shaw's not good in a game where we high press. He's not good in a low block. I thought Luke Shaw today was probably one of our worst players. So I'd give him a 4. You could give him a 4.5, 5, but for me, it's a 4. Scott says, I joined a big Liverpool live. They was going mad when they want Slot out, and I was on there as a troll in their chat. How many subs do you need? How many subs do you need to live stream? That's a good question. I don't know, mate. I think it's more about how many videos. I think it's more about videos. So you can just live stream. I think you basically just need videos. I think you need 3 lives, I think. No, you need a couple of videos posted. I think it's at least 3. And then you can live stream, I think. So Scott's been a terror. So Maguire for me, look, Maguire is an 8 from me. I'm giving Maguire an 8 today. when we talk about two players, right, and we talk about Maguire is not good in a high line because I'd agree. So Reese Flip says I agree. A 4 or 5 for Delo is like he doesn't have a brain. Sure, it shouldn't be a centre back. It's where are we? A centre back. He's poor in the air, and he's another like a Delo. He can't stay focused in 90 minutes. Shinamere Moses says hi, hello. So when I say this, right, you've got Maguire, who is slow, okay, but when we're talking about Luke Shaw and Maguire, right, Luke Shaw can't play in a high line and get skinned, and now he can't play in a low block, right? It's 50 subs, is that right? Okay. So Maguire today can play in a low block. I thought Maguire was immense today. You've got Luke Shaw and Maguire, and Luke Shaw he's done. I don't know why he gets into this team. I was questioning Amorim more so on Maguire and why he was in this team today, and I can absolutely see why. Absolutely, I thought Amorim's call on Maguire today was brilliant. We asked the manager to make big calls. There are many things he gets wrong, many things that he gets wrong. The way that he plays Luke Shaw is wrong. I disagree with it. But today he got that right. When I'm asking him to make big calls, he made it today. I thought the Maguire call today was brilliant. I thought he played really, really well. Do you remember Hell of Galatasaray? Yes, I do. I remember it. I remember when we went there with Cantona and Giggs, and I think Cantona got something thrown at the back of his head. It wasn't good. So Maguire for me gets an 8. That goal, I've got loads of time for him. I think his redemption story is great, and if he wants a new contract, give it to him because he can do something still. I think the difference between Maguire and Luke Shaw is Maguire can offer something still, even from a defensive perspective. Luke Shaw can't. De Ligt again for me was an 8. Man United top 5 Champions League scrap. We've played 8 games. All I'm saying is we've played 8 games. Factually, we're in the scrap. I'm going to say this. Let's get through the next 3 games. Let's get to December. And then if in December we're roughly there or thereabouts, then I think then we have to admit that we are in a Champions League scrap. But let's get through these next couple of games first. Let's get through to Christmas. And then let's see where we are there. So De Ligt for me, 8. De Ligt, I think he's brilliant. I think De Ligt is fantastic. I give him an 8 as well. I think he communicate him and Lemens. I think are brilliant together. Maguire today, I thought those two were fantastic today. What more could they possibly do? So for me, he's an 8 today. Ahmad, 8. Ahmad for me today. Ahmad is my man of the match. Do I think some players played better? Yes, I do. But Ahmad, for me today, I've criticised Ahmad for he's a small lad, right? And is not his natural position. And there are other options that Amorim could have played in that position. But for a young kid, and Ahmad is a young kid, to do what he did today at that age, at Anfield, in that game, a really, really vital game, and the criticism that he has had, I thought today he was fantastic. So Ahmad for me, and I fully appreciate this is my personal preference today based on all different factors for me. I'd give Ahmad an 8.5 or a 9 because I just think what he did today, going forward and coming back, I thought he was immense today. I loved what he did today, and I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased for him to put in that performance today, and I think he should absolutely nail that down. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Rooflip says, I bumped into Mourinho a few years back and he doubled down that Luke Shaw, Jesse Lingard, Rashford weren't good enough to play for us. Looks like he's been proven up. Agreed. 100% agreed. I've never liked Luke Shaw. I think he's overrated, always has been, and it's interesting. Traveller Mac, welcome, my friend. Today was quite fortunate for the club. Good on Amorim, but I would prefer he drops Fernandes for Kobe or Lissandro. Lissandro is coming back. He is coming back, but it's difficult, mate. It's difficult. I don't want to drop Fernandes. I want to sell Fernandes. We can talk about Kobe. Let's talk about Kobe at the end. Remind me if I don't come on to him, but I want to talk about him as well. And Lissandro is not a number 8, but I think Lissandro, we can talk about him as well. Kevin says, JB, we won. We did, my friend. The team was stable. Exactly. And we won. Casemiro. Let's get on to Casemiro today. I thought Casemiro was a 6 today. When I say 6, there's no bad means there that Casemiro is a 6. I thought he had a good game. I didn't think he did anything spectacular. Towards the end, he faded, yellow card, he needed to come off. But I thought what he did today, we did have a bit of control. He sat in front of that back three, offered that protection. Don't think he did anything spectacular. I thought he look. We need more players to have an average game, and I thought Casemiro was a 6 today. You could argue a 7. You could go over the top and say he was great. I would argue that Casemiro today was a 6, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm happy with a 6 from him today. I thought he was fine. Happy. Fernandes. Fernandes. So what would I give Fernandes? So for me, Fernandes, I don't think, as I said, I don't think he played well. Casemiro's still attracting cards. Look, it's Casemiro's pace. It's basically the way that he plays, right? His legs are gone. His mind's still there. He's not one for the future. He needs to go, but he did a job today. And I thought playing in that, look, when Casemiro just is static and he's got players around him, he can mop up. His brain is still fantastic. So he's good. In that low block, he's fine. But anything other than that, he's not great, but I would give him a 6 today. Fernandes today, look, as I've said, Fernandes didn't have his best game, but I don't mind that. He's been asked to play out of position. I'm not the biggest fan. I think he's a stat pad that needs to go, and if we can get rid of him, I would. But I liked the performance today because he wasn't petulant. He didn't go hiding. He was part of the team. Was he great? No. He basically put in the ball to win us the game. I mean, without that ball into the box, we don't win. So I probably would have given him a 5 or a 6, but I've got to elevate him to a 7. Maybe that's over the top. I wouldn't, you could give him a 5 or a 6, but I thought for that ball into the box, that's what he does. For Moments FC, it just so happened that worked. Without that goal, you could argue that he's a 6. 5.5, 6. But with that pass, 7. So look, I was content with that today because he's not a number 8. He's doing a job, and I think he did okay today with that. Mbeumo for me was an 8. I think he terrorised. That Liverpool back four. I think him and Ahmad, they're looking good together. I really like that. I really, really do. And he seems to be, their connection, it seems to be really good. What I really like about it is that Ahmad is tricky and Mbeumo is more that like power. He's more power. He gets the ball. He's very, very good. He's powerful, and I like it. So for me, he's an 8. So Delo today for me was a 4.5, 5. I don't think he's great. For me, all day long, he's a 4.5, 5. You could argue a 6. I can't remember if I gave him a 6. No, I think I gave him a 6. A 5.5 or 6. He's just not good enough. He's been asked to do a job. It's like Portuguese friends, Portuguese friends. And obviously, if you've ever seen the show that is from, he gets into the team because he's fucking Portuguese. I mean, that's the only reason he gets into this team is because he's Portuguese. Agree. Yeah, I think he was below average. So I would say 5.5, maybe 6 is a bit too much for him, but I would go that. Cunha today, I thought the stuff he did was brilliant. I know I'd give him. You could argue 8. I'd probably give him a 7.5, just because if you watch it, and I'll score Mason Mount as well. If you watch it and you watch the things that he does, he draws fouls. There were moments where he got the ball out, and there was one moment towards the end of the first half where he was on the floor, and I think it was Kirkes and Gakpo, and he was on the floor and he was trying to win the ball, and it looked like at one point he was going to lose the ball, and then he's on the floor, wins the ball, gets up, runs away. But I love that. I love it. I really, really do. So I'd give him a 7.5. You could possibly argue an 8, but I thought he was really, really good today. Mason Mount, I'd give him a 6. It wasn't his best game. Again, I'm not going to be too harsh on him. I thought he was good. I thought he was fine. You could argue 6.5. I don't think he did much today. He tried to close down. Look, he's been playing really, really well for weeks. I just don't know. It's just sometimes players just don't play. Not that he played badly. He was a body in there. Like he was a body, and I thought he played. I thought he played okay. I thought he played his part. But I'd probably argue a 6, 6.5 if I was going to be kind. Shesko, come on, give Shesko a 6.5, 6. Average. He did some good stuff. Mainu again, give him a 6, 6.5. I don't think. The one thing I liked about Ugarte and Mainu today, and I'll probably give him a 6.5 to 7, is because of what they came into. Of what game they came into, and they did okay today. So I'd give him a 6.5 to 7 for that today. Dorgu, I like Dorgu today. I'd give him 6.5 as well. The players that came on today, substitutes. Every player today, other than Luke Shaw, pretty much, I thought had a decent-ish game. Yeah. So those are the scores. Ugarte's quality. Scott gifted a membership to Mark Harris. Thank you, Scott. Scott is a long-time supporter. And Mark Harris, who's been here from the very, very beginning, membership member of the channel. Mate, thank you so much. Absolute legend. So let me get through some of these chats, and then we can talk about Manu a little bit more in depth as well. Onana is actually starting to play well. Palace, I don't care. I don't want him anywhere near this team. He's done. Good wins for Villa and Hull today. Kirkes was being sliced up the side by Mbeumo and Ahmad. Yeah, agreed. Those two together are starting to do some great stuff. We had a BetJB, and I need to gift a membership. Scotty, and I need to give you some FIFA points as well, Scotty. I don't know how I do that, but I will give you some FIFA points, Scott, because you called it, my friend, and you're a legend. Ryan Hughes says, hopefully we can build on this. We can. Ugarte's quality. Angmang says, sorry I'm late. If you've already spoken about it, let me ask anyways. Any news on the sale of the club? We've not spoken about it today. Any news so far? Okay, I have seen something, and I'll give you a little update on it. Is what's becoming more and more apparent, or what's been put out there, is that David Beckham is being approached. Now you can take that with a pinch of salt. Apparently, David Beckham. Apparently, Beckham is this key to this bid. Keep an eye on it. Other than that, it's all gone silent. It will go silent now because we won. Let's see next week. If anything does come back about the sale, I will come back on and I will let you guys know. Robson or Keane. So look, for me, it's going to be Keane. Like Robson for me, when was I? So I mean, I remember Keane more, only because I was so young and I didn't appreciate Robson as much. Robbo, captain, fantastic, absolute. And when you look back on it, Robson was an amazing captain. I only go for Keno because I remember him more, and Keno's more my captain. So that's the only reason why. But Robbo was absolutely amazing. The official gobbly-pooker slot out. Look, I disagree. Look, we can't. Liverpool fans, you can't be slot out, right? You can be, but look, reactionary is reactionary. I get it. You lost against your rivals. It's not like you played badly today. It's not like you got stuffed. It's not like you can get them on off Amazon and get the code sent you in it. Cool, Scott. I will do that, my friend. Remind me if I haven't done it by tomorrow's stream, but I will do that to you, my friend. I will do that for you, my friend. So it's 4 games. I get it. It is frustrating, but come on, you can't be slot out. I mean, please don't be like some of United fans. And I'm not saying all of us are, but I get it. You're going through a bad patch, but stick with Slot. I mean, stick with him. Dork Knight says, a Liverpool fan here. Welcome again, my friend. Had a face like a slapped behind all night. Fair play. I think you just edged it. The fact you had a better balance team today. Look, I appreciate it. I appreciate that you come on here and you say that. Look, I would have been the same. If we'd have lost, look, you beat us 7-0, right? I mean, I had a face like a smacked ass for weeks after that. Today's, what I'm going to say today, today's game felt like an old-fashioned game. What I love, looking back, not at the time, but looking back, it was competitive. It was a competitive, on your edge seat. Liverpool had more shots. Liverpool, Gakpo, do I think that your whole team played well? No, I don't. I think the McAllister thing, shook the midfield. I do think it did. So Bosla, I thought, was okay. I don't know what it is at the moment. It's just Liverpool don't look like a gelled team. It's going to come. Isaac looks blunt as fuck. Isaac looks like a shadow of himself. I mean, Slot was saying that he's 100%. He isn't. Waltmade looks like a better signing. I mean, he's been fantastic. Gakpo, what was really funny today? What was really funny today was that of all the players that looked really well was Gakpo. I mean, Gakpo looked brilliant today. I thought he was immense today. He should have scored. He should have scored the first one where he hit the post. Great shot. The second shot. I mean, I don't know if that was a fluke or not, but fuck me, that was brilliant. But yeah, what a game, and respect to Liverpool today. It was an on the edge of your seat win. I'm glad we got out of there with a win, but Liverpool are going to be back. I mean, you're only 4 points behind. We're 2 points behind you. It's making for an exciting Premier League. Scotty, I will look at that, my friend. Slot is out. Slot out is ridiculous and disrespectful. Exactly. Gakpo atrocious finishing was Liverpool's true demise. I mean, yeah, Liverpool got punished today for not taking their chances. Slot and Eric Ten Hag should write a book of excuses to get a top seller 100%. Come on. I mean, look, is Slot on Ten Hag level? Come on. No, he's not. He's not. He really isn't. Give Slot a chance. It's 4 bloody games. Come on, you are 4 points off of top, right? Come on. Be sensible. I know a loss to us is not great, but be sensible. Has this result saved his job for the near future, Harif? Yes, I think it has. But I'm enjoying this for tonight, and then when we get into next week, I will forget this result. I'm not going to forget it for tonight. I'm not going to forget it for tomorrow, even Tuesday, Wednesday. But then when we come to match day, the next match day, this game has gone because we can't live on this. We can't live on it. So I'm going to enjoy it tonight. Does it save his job? I think it puts less pressure on him, but can we go and do it again? Dorknight, football fans are fickle. I can't stomach bad defeats and bad runs. I blame social media. Fans struggle to cope with ridicule and jump on their team's backs. Very, very sensible thing to say. Agree with you completely. I agree with you. It's only 4 games. It's only 4 games. Liverpool was still in competitions. Clubs hit bad runs of form. It is what it is. Did you watch the game over again, mate? I did. I did watch the game over again. I thought we played well. I thought we were competitive. We hung on at the end. Do I think it was a fair result? I do. Just about. You could argue it either way. But it was a competitive game. Look, I loved that it was a competitive game. I loved that we scored first. I loved that Liverpool. Well, I didn't love that, but Liverpool scored late on, and then I fucking loved the way we went down the other end and we scored. If we don't learn lessons from this game, I don't know when it's going to get into these players' brains that you went to Anfield, whether or not Liverpool are playing well or not, they could have won that game. You look at their side, there can be no excuses on either side. Liverpool scored, were bombarding us. I thought we defended really, really well in parts. We scored first. Liverpool scored. And then what I've been asking for, you've got to do something, and they did it, and that's what impressed me today. Truly fickle. It's wild how the times have changed. The only thing Slot has in common with top managers is a bald head. Good, honest, very articulate. Good host, very articulate. Thank you. Traveller Max says time to think about Brighton. Look, Traveller, let's enjoy it for tonight. We have to enjoy it for tonight. I am with you. I am. I'm going to enjoy it tonight. I'm going to enjoy it tomorrow. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, we need to get back into game mode because we absolutely cannot live on this result. These players need to get into their minds. You've beaten your rival, your biggest rival, because they are. I respect Liverpool. That to me is the game I look to, right? We won. We move on. We've got to. Tonight, I'm enjoying it. Tomorrow, I'm going to enjoy it as well. And then we move on to the next one. Neil Noble is right. Welbeck is in fine form. Welbeck he's a scourge. Like, I like Welbeck. I've got a lot of time for ex-players, and he looks after himself as well. So I like Welbeck. If we can win 3 games. Imagine the heady heights of winning 3 games. I think it's there. Scott says, I think he plays the same team next weekend. Possibly. Maybe Mason Mount comes out and Shesko goes in. Possibly. I think Euro goes in. Maybe, but again, Scott, it's so difficult. It's so difficult to call it. It could be any team. The wife says, glory, glory, Man United. I agree with you. Palace says, my cousin is a Liverpool fan. He said he's going on hunger strike till Liverpool win. I said, he's nice knowing you. Oh, honestly, Liverpool fans, honestly, do you know what the problem is? What the problem is? Liverpool forget, not all of the fans, because we have some amazing fans on here. And I think, I do think that there are some fickle fans. I think Dork Knight is totally on it when he says there are fickle fans, right? I mean, Liverpool, you've been successful and you've been up there and you've been, what, 9 years now, right? If you can't take losing 4 games after winning a Premier League at a canter without being, you easily won it. You've lost 4 games. Come on. How entitled? Look, all I'm saying is how entitled is that? I'm not saying that all Liverpool fans are. I'm just saying that if you can't handle losing a couple of games, look at us. We finished 15th, 16th last season. We played Spurs, who had half of their team out, and we lost. Right? You won the league. Right? You went and spent 400 million on players. Right? What do you think was going to happen? Slot needs to rebuild a team. Right? It's difficult. It's difficult to rebuild a team. And after 4 games that you've lost to us. It wasn't like we battered you. It wasn't like you had us come into your ground and you lost 7-0. Like, you beat us 7-0, right? You've lost 4 games. Okay, you've not played well all season, but you've basically gone and got a brand new team. Don't be entitled. You forget. Don't forget what you were like for the best part of 25 to 30 years. It's a blip. It's a blip. It's such a blip. And, in the next 2 months when Liverpool are firing, Isaac scoring, I guarantee you'll all be, Liverpool are fantastic again, blah, 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 blah. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine. Maybe Arsenal will win the league this year, but you guys will be back. You guys are going to comfortably finish in the top 3. Don't be entitled. It wasn't like you played awful today. So you've lost a game of football. You can be there or thereabout. So I'm going to go, guys. I'm going to get to bed, work in the morning. But yeah, what a win. I cannot believe that we went there and won a game. The interesting thing that we did talk about was, what I was going to mention before I go is Mainu. All I'm going to say about Mainu, Roll Sports says, Nightman, all the best. Thank you. I'm going to mention, because I did say that I would. The one thing I just want to leave you guys with is Mainu. Is Mainu really the man? When we look at the performances that he's had and the games he's come into, Grimsby, I think, was the pivotal point for me, whereby he had his opportunity to come into that match. Do I agree that Mainu should be getting his chance? Yes. But maybe he has to wait for that chance. I know people are clambering for Mainu to play, but somebody did make a good point. Mainu's not really a 6. He's an 8. When Bruno's in that team, Man U is not going to play. Where does Man U play? And it's more of a look. It's more of an existential question. Is can Man U get into this team? What does Man U have to do to force his way into the team? We played to United. As an outsider, I feel Maguire is underrated. Look, Maguire is Maguire. He's not getting any younger. I think the burden of being a captain weighed on him heavy. Maguire knows what he is. We all know what he is. I don't think he's underrated in the fan base. He's just not the future. He just isn't the future. He's getting slower, slightly more injury prone as well. But I will say this: I absolutely appreciate and I respect the guy so much from the dog's abuse that he got to come back. And I think he deserves a contract. I do. I think he does. Does it mean I think he's a great player? No. Do I think he should play every game? No. But I think he deserves a contract as a player that can come on and do that. So I've got so much respect for him. I love a redemption story, and I think Maguire deserves a 1-year contract, or maybe even 2. But yeah, I agree. But guys, I am going to go sell Bruno and get a decent CM. Scott, I agree with you, my friend. I do completely agree with you. So yeah. But guys, on that note, I am going to go work in the morning as everybody does. I'd love this to be my full-time job. Maybe one day in the future it can be, but I've got to go to work tomorrow, as does everybody else. Darshan says the aura that De Gea had was unbelievable. He should have played for Madrid or Barcelona. Wasted his career in this club. I don't think he wasted his career, but he should have gone to Madrid, but the paperwork fell through. Neil Noble says, good show. Thank you, my friend. Wayne says you're on the mend. Wayne, sleep well tonight, my friend. It is what it is. Harith, I get this asked all the time. And I'm not gonna hide away from it. And I will answer your question. Why do I think of Goldbridge? Look, why do I think of Goldbridge? What I'm going to say is there, what can I say about a man who has been doing this for 10 years, who has amassed a massive platform, the biggest one, that has set the standard for every other channel like mine? I think I do something different on here, just in terms of the way that we interact. But I don't know him. From what I can see, look, I respect him. Like, how can people not? You either like the personality or you don't. And I'm sure in behind closed doors, hello, Letitia, I'm sure he's a different. But there is a persona that people put on when they do this. I don't. If you to meet me on the street, I am exactly the same, and I don't know him. I respect him. You've got to respect the guy. To do what he's done. I mean, to take this, to challenge the media. I'm not saying that we do on here, but to challenge the media, to not only become one of the biggest fan channels, the biggest, but to get rights to a football league. I mean, look. I mean, you've got to admire. So I admire him. I respect him. I don't know him, so there's not a lot that I can really say on him as a person. But respect the channel, the things that they do on there. Do I agree with everything he says? No. Do I agree with everything that the channel says? No. Do I agree? Do I like some of the things they do? No, but no one does, right? But respect to that channel, respect to him. I know how difficult this is to do. I know the sacrifices sometimes that I make to do a stream. It is 11:40 at night, an hour and 24 minutes in, and it's tiring. I mean, I stream at the best of times to 50 people at one time. The videos do get views, but he's streaming to thousands and thousands of people. But so I get it. I admire the hustle, but yeah. I mean, as a person, I don't know, so I can't comment on that. Wayne is a legend. Harry says, do you think footballers have more validity to their opinions than actually played the game at the highest level? Some of them do. Some of them do, because they have played the game. I know that's a saying, they've played the game. But do I think they're any more? Do I think they're better than those who watch football? And I know some of you, I know that I have in the past, I have forensically watched football, knowing all the leagues, all of the players, the patterns of play, the way that they play. Just because I haven't physically been on a Premier League pitch, I've played football. I played it for a long time. I played at an okay standard. But just because someone else has an opinion, does it make it better than yours? No. It doesn't. Some footballers are, when you look at Pep. Of course Pep does. Pep was a player. Does he know more than me? Of course he does. But there's a misconception that just because you played, you know more than the common fan. Disagree. Darshan says, what could have happened if Goldbridge managed United? Would have done some good for sure. Look, I don't know what he says. I don't know. I think many of you, me, I think we would do things differently. Look, I'm not saying that I would be able to go into that club and manage it in terms of, on the pitch results. But I'm telling you now, I know the players I would get. I know who I would gut. I know we would know those players. So, if that's what he says, then possibly he's right. But guys, I'm going to go on that note. And amazing stream as always. Thank you for coming in at the very end there. With the comments, as I say on here, I always try to read them out. One last comment I read: in your opinion, what PL team has the most toxic fans? It is. I don't know, mate. United at the moment can be quite toxic. Liverpool, I think, are becoming toxic as well. I don't think as much. I think Liverpool's fan base are very close-knit. I think they're very tight. Somebody can tell me if I'm wrong. I'd probably say United, maybe. Scott says, Goldbridge may have the biggest channel, but we have the best community so far. And I'm giving the final chat to Scott. Legend, it's true. Goldbridge may have the biggest channel, but we are the best community by far. Scott is a legend. Scott is right. I'm going to say good night because I got work in the morning. I'm sure you guys have as well. So guys, have a good rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Have a fantastic day tomorrow. I will be back at some point tomorrow. Hopefully there'll be some news out, and I'm sure they will. Harry, thank you, my friend. I will see you soon, guys. I love you all. You guys, you are just amazing, and I'm so glad that we won today. I'm buzzing. I hope you guys are buzzing too. A win is a win is a win. Anton, mate, it doesn't need to be said, mate. You can be gay, straight, wherever you are. You're welcome on here, mate. I don't know why you're making it a big thing, because it means nothing to me. A human is a human. It doesn't matter what your persuasion is. Welcome here, my friend. It's not even a thought of mine at all. So you are welcome here. It doesn't matter what your persuasion is. You're welcome here, my friend. But yes, Scott, as Scott says, I'm going to give Scott the last word. Goldbridge may have the biggest channel, but we are the best. You guys are the best. Appreciate your views today. Appreciate watching the game with me. Appreciate the chat tonight. We've won. We've got to be happy. We take it into tomorrow. Let's enjoy our work day, buzzing tomorrow. And then the hard work starts again. So, guys, see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your morning, evening. Whatever we're doing, enjoy it, and I'll be back tomorrow. So take care, and I'll see you very soon.